Galnet News Digest, 21st of March 3305. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, Terminal News. Eagle-eyed Canonn concoct Thargoid theory. The death and life of Harry Potter. Lockdown in Seoul. Terminal News. The Explorer's Anchorage has been officially opened for business 4 days after the sponsors, the Distant Worlds 2 expedition, headed off on their journey to Beagle Point. Not only does it now boast an extended gift shop and facilities for touring belugas, Explorer's Anchorage will also be hosting rebuy screen facilities for Distant Worlds explorers who get a bit too friendly with neutron stars, or who misjudge the glide down to that 4G world with the alluring sunset. Meanwhile, Archimbo Terminal in the Chunsar system remains under the control of the Children of Tothos, current holders of the most dangerous religious cult award for the second week running. The Children of Tothos were expected to blow the terminal up to summon their deity, who's apparently attracted by mass murder, but the cult seems to have forgotten why it took over the terminal, and there's been no sign of a runaway thermonuclear reaction melting the station and all its inhabitants into a glowing puddle so far. Let's hope they get on with it, so we can have a more exciting news bulletin next week. Eagle-eyed Canonn concoct Thargoid theory. The brainy boffins of Canonn Interstellar have been doing their homework, and they've come up with startling findings about Thargoid targets. Last year, the Eagle Eye Network reported that the Thargoids were targeting systems with ammonia worlds. However, since the end of 3304, it seems that the Thargoids have diversified, and that the listening nodes of the Eagle Eye Network are somehow tuned in to this diversity. In the Pleiades, Eagle Eyes 1 and 3 identify industrial military targets, while Eagle Eye 2 identifies military terraforming targets. In the Bubble, Eagle Eye 4 reports on Thargoid interventions in systems with ammonia worlds and planets with ammonia-rich atmospheres, while Eagle Eye 5 identifies military and high-tech targets, and Eagle Eye 6 reports agriculture high-tech targets. The paper is quite long and boring, but essentially it reveals that the Thargoids are attacking our systems, and that someone ought to do something about it. Send Johnny Alien back to the Call 70 sector with his tentacles between his legs. That's what the government ought to do. End free movement for aliens. Build a wall. Most excitingly, the report creates a brand new word. Thargoid targeted systems are henceforth to be known as Thargets. The death and life of Harry Potter. There was a minor sensation this week when it was reported that Commander Harry Potter, one of the most skilled combat pilots in the entire galaxy, had been killed, and that once his rather enormous bounty was taken into account, he didn't have enough money in his bank account to buy back his highly engineered Anaconda. There was significant delight from those who were perhaps not entirely appreciative of Commander Potter's achievements, and who imagined him setting off from Trevithick Dock in a lone Sidewinder. In fact, Potter, who was killed by his friend and colleague Commander Omnislash, had plenty of stored assets, and after selling some of his stored ships easily had sufficient funds to rebuy his ship. What's more, he made a plea to the Frontier Charitable Foundation for the care of destitute commanders for his losses, including the cost of his unfeasibly large bounty, to be refunded. In the light of his excellent upstanding character, it's believed that this claim was granted, and we're pleased to say that Commander Potter came out of the experience none the worse for it and was quickly able to get back to this week's task: killing commanders in Desiat. Lockdown in Seoul. According to reports received from Commander Shaneri Rainal, parts of the Seoul system seem likely to enter lockdown at the next BGS tick. The part of the system including Cambridge Starport is believed to be on the verge of switching from democracy to anarchy, after a long period without effective government. It's also believed likely that parts of planet Earth will become permit-locked the following day, requiring commanders to become allied with the Rees-Mogg faction to gain admission. Meanwhile, pilots have been abandoning the struggle against the Thargoids in their droves, in favour of a game show, during which large blocks of masonry are thrown off high buildings. The 100 contestants need to catch these blocks and use them to pave a road without leaving any gaps. The winner is the last contestant not crushed by falling masonry. The Pilots' Federation, which had been up for an award for the way it had been maintaining the galaxy, has had to withdraw after it was claimed that the galaxy is now on a maintenance footing, and that the Pilots' Federation is planning a managed retreat, leaving the galaxy in the hands of Tharg the Mighty. The Pilots' Federation strenuously denies these allegations. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.